Good morning, everybody, and welcome to First Thoughts on a Friday. I got some of my gang out here with me right now. Yeah, they're out here protecting the back 40, but they're also here barking at the cats too. So if I get interrupted from time to time, you'll know what's going on there. Interrupted, yeah, that's kind of what happened to Thomas's life, because he was ready to move on without Jesus. Jesus was dead. And of course, along come the disciples and said, "Hey, Tom, guess what? We saw him. We saw him." Tom goes, "Yeah, right. You're just as crazy as the women." No. We're doubting Thomas. That's what we call this Sunday's gospel lesson, doubting Thomas. You know what? There's a problem with that. The big problem is the word doubt never appears in the gospel lesson itself. You're going, wait a minute, it says right here in my Bible. Hey, I'm telling you, that Bible's got it wrong. It should not be translated doubt. There is a Greek word for doubt, and that's not it, folks. It should be not believing or becoming unbelieving. Oh, well, what's the difference? Well, there's a world of difference. It means that you do believe, you believe in Jesus. Thomas believed that Jesus was the Messiah. In fact, what's going to happen is he gives the first full confession of faith that we find in the Gospels when he finally does see Jesus in person. My Lord and my God. So that's kind of a cool thing. He's the very first one to fully confess. At least we have in writing. Okay, but maybe that's what we need to do is look at some of the words in this pericope, because we're so familiar with it, maybe we lose the power of it. One of the words that pops up 3 times, there's 3 times Jesus says, "Peace be with you." Peace be with you. Now, shalom was a very common greeting amongst the Jewish people, which meant, hey, God's peace be with you. It's almost like saying hello. Hey, how you doing in our day and age? But it carries a lot of punch and a lot of power, that peace. And it really does carry the sense of not an inner peace, which it does, but more peace amongst yourselves. So let this peace be a reality, that you get along with each other, that you're comfortable with each other, that you are accepting of one another. So are the disciples having trouble accepting Thomas back into the ranks? Or is Thomas having trouble now bonding with the other disciples who had this crazy vision that Jesus is alive? Oh, I don't know. But Jesus says, "Peace be with you," 3 times. One of those times, he breathes on them. Hey, something we don't do in the age of COVID, right? You don't breathe on other people. You don't breathe on other people even if you have the flu or the cold either. Come on. Not just COVID, but anything that can be transmissible. But this is different. This is the same words that are used back in Genesis when God breathes into that first man, Adam, the breath of life. In Ezekiel, when God breathes life into that valley of dry bones, it's something that brings fullness of life to us. God's breath. And that word for breath is the same word for spirit, same word for wind. They're all connected. Hey, doesn't that sound kind of familiar? In fact, we're going to hear about that on Pentecost. The Spirit of God coming upon them like a mighty wind. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you have that in there in the text. There's some other, how about at the very, very end when the gospel writer, John, is saying, hey, I say all these things that you might have life. Now, that's an interesting word, because in the Greek, there's actually 3 different words for life. 2 of them refer to the life that is kind of our physical, biological, or mental life. But this one is different. This is Zoe. And this life, Zoe, is that spiritual life that God gives to us that makes us fully alive and fully human. Because you can have the psyche life and you can have the soma life, 2 other words in the Greek. And you know what? You're just a walking zombie at that point. You got to have God's life, the Zoe. These words are all written, all these things recorded so that you might have life in Him. Wow. I mean, there's so much more we can talk about. These are just the first couple of thoughts on a Friday. So it's a beautiful gospel text, but just remember, it is Thomas who really, it shouldn't be called Doubting Thomas Sunday. This should be called, hey, I really am alive. I'm risen, says Jesus Sunday. That would be a good way to put it. Well, God's blessings be with you, and also with my my crew out here, my trusty crew who are walking around and patrolling the area. Hopefully they keep all the bad critters away. God's blessings be with you.